Diddy and Lori Harvey, who, have been spending a lot of time together.
Don't ever try to fit in when God has clearly created you to stand out. Always be a lady. And understand, you are the prize.
Not settling for less than what I know I deserve. Just remember that you are the prize.
Yeah. When you have success, people start to look at you about your money.
When I come out with my parents, I just bring my wallet for decoration. I never actually plan to use it.
Lori Harvey has been under hot water for her weird mannerisms in the past as well. She's been accused of being a snob too many times to count, and it looks like we have another piece of evidence that solidifies this argument. Lori Harvey's ex-boyfriend Diddy has broken his silence about the piggish nature of Lori. He's also mentioned that her inability to compromise and increasing demands led to their breakup. Diddy claimed that nothing seemed to be enough for Lori, which is why their relationship didn't work out. Not to forget that Diddy, too, is equally hard-headed as Lori.
Savage! I'm a savage! Oh! I'm a savage! Whatever I want, I'm going to get!
Diddy and Lori were first romantically linked when the duo was caught enjoying a PDA-packed vacation on Italy's Amalfi Coast with a group that even included Steve and Lori's mom.
Diddy and Lori Harvey, they're heating things up in Italy.
Notice her arm is on the back of his chair.
While it's weird that the PDA was happening right in front of Lori's parents, that implies that whatever Diddy and Lori had going on wasn't as much of a surprise for them as it was for us. An eyewitness described one of Diddy's and Lori's cozy outings on the trip. She had her arm around him and was stroking his ear and kissing him, the source shared. He was whispering in her ear and kissing her cheek from time to time, the insider says of Diddy. The couple was last photographed together in Cabo San Lucas, but breakup rumors began picking up speed after multiple outlets reported Lori had unfollowed Diddy on Instagram. There was silence for quite a long time after that, until Diddy decided to let it out that Lori was the reason for their split. It's no surprise for the audience that Lori acts too entitled to be considered acceptable. She always seems as unbothered as she is unbound by convention. She's been rhapsodized by Meek Mill on the one hand and crudely slut-shamed for her body count by Boozy on the other.
The internet has been calling Lori Harvey the female Future. The internet has called Future in the past toxic. Is Lori Harvey's dating life toxic?
Her well-publicized romantic history, a carousel of high-profile men, sometimes overlapping, arouses strong feelings of fascination and angst simultaneously. Because while we worship at the altar of beauty, we still vilify female sexual sovereignty. Lori has ample amounts of both, and that is hard to digest for the male community. She mentioned quite a few times that she prioritizes herself too much, and if somebody else isn't accommodating of her terms and conditions, she moves on.
I was like, okay, I'm about to, like I said, just date on my terms. And however I want to move, whatever I want to do, I'm going to do it. And if it's no longer serving me, I'm going to move on.
She's always running after attention, but in a way that makes it seem like it is the other way around. Plus, her track record of jumping from guy to guy has further worsened her case. Speaking of guys, Diddy isn't the only one who's had enough of Lori. Her other ex, Future, also had a similar opinion, and he wasn't too shy about it either. He rapped about how Lori was a bad partner and outrightly denigrated her by mentioning her father, Steve Harvey, in his rap. Magic City, I'm the owner, he rapped on 42 Doug's new song Maybach before insulting her by mentioning her comedian stepfather. Tell Steve Harvey I don't want her. Michael B. Jordan, Lori's latest conquest, had an almost identical view of her. He featured her in a music album by 21 Savage and Drake, which was called Her Loss. Fans assumed that it was a probable attempt at dissing Lori, as the album was released immediately after their very public breakup. Steve Harvey, the ever-so-protective dad, came to Lori's defense and seemingly threatened Michael for this. Look, as long as everybody can walk away in peace, be friends, I ain't heard nobody say they busted no windows or nothing. As long as you don't put your hands on my daughter, I don't give a damn what you do, said Harvey. One perspective that explains Lori's negative image might be that she seems to have too much family support, which allows her to do whatever she wants. And it seems like things are getting out of hand for the Harvey family too, Lori being the major reason. There are a total of 7 kids that call Steve Harvey their father. 4 of the 7 kids are biologically Steve's. kids from his previous unions with Marcia Harvey and Mary Shackelford. After that, he married Marjorie Harvey, who is with him presently, as he adopted her 3 kids. Sources claim that popular TV host and comedian Steve Harvey is having a very tough time dealing with his new family dynamic and tensions at home. The sources further add that there was unfortunately some jealousy lingering amongst the siblings over Lori, who's the most famous of all of Steve's kids, taking over the spotlight with her high-profile love life. So not only does Lori have a tarnished reputation owing to her greedy and manipulative ways, but she also has haters inside her own house. Another issue is that the tension isn't limited to the children, as apparently Steve's wife and exes butt heads because Marjorie rules the roost at the Harvey abode. Marjorie and Lori are accused of drowning Steve Harvey in debt, using him and extorting him. They're also known to be world-class manipulators who've got Harvey wrapped around their fingers. And yes, you guessed it right, Lori inherited her overbearing personality from Marjorie. Both women tend to think only about themselves and nothing beyond that. In an interview where the topic of discussion was her past relationships, Lori was asked about the advice that helps her overcome such inconveniences.
What's the best advice they've given you?
Just remember that you're the prize at all times.
Boom.
Best advice.
This advice was passed on by her mother, who quite clearly explained to Lori to keep her standards high and not to compromise on her self-worth in any case.
Don't ever try to fit in when God has clearly created you to stand out. Always be a lady. And understand you are the prize.
This is great advice to pass on to your children, right? Too bad for Lori. She shouldn't have taken it too seriously. This self-endearing quality of hers isn't always appreciated because she forgets to care for her public image in the process. Fans obviously connected this to the way she behaves in real life and her reputation. They schooled her for her faulty views and stringent nature. One person commented, "No one's a prize in a relationship. It's supposed to be a partnership." Another added, "You're no longer the price when everyone has had the prize." This one obviously was a not-so-subtle jab at Lori's never-ending list of relationships. And her easygoing personality isn't the only thing that bothers the audience. Rather, it's the greedy nature that often surfaces that is even nastier. Lori recently released a TikTok with her stepfather, which had mixed reactions from the audience. Initially, the video seemed to be for entertainment purposes, but later on, the video was taken out of context and people dug around to verify if she really was joking in the video.
You know, when I come out with my parents, I just bring my wallet for decoration. I never actually plan to use it.
This further allowed people to firmly believe that what they thought could be a possibility. Lori really thinks of her stepfather as an ATM card and nothing else. Fans also linked this to Marjorie's money-hungry nature, saying that Marjorie stayed with Harvey for the exact reason and Lori is carrying on the tradition. One person tweeted, "Lori Harvey got it from her mama. Steve met her while he was married. She had grown kids and he said, 'I'ma give him my name, my money, whatever you want.'" In conclusion, Marjorie got that juicy fruit super duper soca and passed it on. Sources claim that Harvey knows about this nature of Lori and he takes advantage of that by giving her what she wants to avoid getting on her bad side. According to reports, as for how Steve is coping with the turmoil between his loved ones, it's alleged that his way of handling it has been to throw money at them, buy them gifts, or just go into another room to chomp on a cigar. But it's not working. Well, Lori decided to prove everyone wrong because it looks like all these allegations piling up against Lori finally woke her up from her self-proclaimed princess era, and she decided to address them. She clarified that her public image has little relevance to her actual personality. The reason for the vast difference is because she isn't very open about her personal life on social media. So people tend to assume what they see and hear.
It's so funny because I'm so quiet.
Yeah.
There's been so many stories that have been made up about me.
Her hollow explanations obviously did little to rectify the situation, because the increasing pile of allegations against Lori leads us to think that there must be at least some truth to them. And if that's the case, we can only hope that she comes to her senses and tries to rectify her image. Otherwise, it'd be hard for her to survive in an industry as ferocious as Hollywood. That's it for today, folks. Until next time, goodbye.